Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. We did just get confirmation, Steve Rummage.
Okay.
We will be adding another guest to our long, illustrious lists of insiders, of people we look forward to having in the Made for the Ville family. That would be one Papa Lock will be joining us at the 11 o'clock hour. So tell a friend to tell a friend you do not want to miss that interview with Pops Lock. Also, I guess while I'm in here, a little shot. Kentucky Derby stations. We're just 18 days away from the running of the Kentucky Derby 147. And a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your home for the Kentucky Derby and exclusive home for the Triple Crown. And again, this year will feature full pre-race, race, and post-race coverage for both Oaks and Derby. It's all on your Derby stations, ESPN 680, 105.7, 93.9 The Ville, and the ESPN Louisville app. Also, miss any of our favorite ESPN Louisville shows? Check out the Podcast Center at ESPNLouisville.com, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Rate, subscribe, review.
I'm taking this one. I'm taking this one personally.
Elaborate, please.
Like very personally.
You do elaborate it again.
Have you gotten the Mr. Delivery email yet from Phil Baker?
Oh, I listen. Because that helps me make an announcement. The YouTube channel is a little basic right now, but it is up and running. I saw it pop up on my screen. I wasn't quite sure that it said what I thought it said, but if it did say what I thought it said, I'm excited. It's gonna be
Marcus
awesome.
Maben knows Steve Rummage has has something he just enjoys to do. He just enjoys to do, and every once in a while,
guilty pleasures.
Steve Rummage at times will pop in by himself sometimes, and just right here in town, and just look. This is my spot. This is what I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that Mr. Delivery, and I was like, "Don't ever talk to me again, Phil." Because you personally found out. You saw my Facebook last night. You saw my son was injured. And you specifically called Tommy and the guys and said, bring this. Hey, execute Order 66.
Emergency Order 66.
Yeah, emergency. Break the glass. Bring it in. He's out tomorrow. His wife's in Knoxville. His baby's got a broken leg. Bring it. That's the only thing that can explain what I saw in my email. So I'm going to read it. Am I good? Do I sound okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Thanks to Tommy and the Delivery.com team for bringing by lunch to the ESPN Louisville studios. Today, y'all get El Nepal. El Nepal.
Oh, yes.
Locally owned Delivery.com brings the restaurant to you, perfect for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Use promo code ORDERNOW for $10 off your next order. Now hiring drivers, get paid per delivery. Keep your own tips. Also, if you're a restaurant looking to grow your business with food delivery, contact locally owned Delivery.com. Delivery.com, your neighborhood delivered.
Whew, so.
That's brutal.
So, speaking of brutal, and I guess this is the segment of the day where we just kind of get cleanse our palate a little bit. Because, again, I am excited about our guest at the 11 o'clock. Again, Pops Noah Locke will be joining us at the 11 o'clock hour. Listen, you guys we can interview the kid, and I'm not allowed to. Listen, do y'all realize it's an NCAA violation if I provide an extra benefit as an alumni and booster and Dean's Council member of Arts and Sciences?
You are Dean's Council member, aren't you?
I'm not allowed to just bring this kid on my radio show as a potential recruit. I can't do all that stuff. But I can't talk to the Pops. So we will do that at the 11 o'clock.
I mean, your boy here does give some annual money to the university.
Oh, well, you can't bring in. Well, you can't bring in the kids either. Then, Mr. Booster Steve.
So anyways, but no, I did listen. I did listen to Noah on both shows yesterday. I listened to him with Andy and James at 4, and then flipped over and listened to Ennis and Blankenbaker. Had him on right after that. 'Cause, it can be the same person in 2 different interviews. So I like what I heard. From him, man. I mean, he sounds like that there's a plan. It sounds like he has a plan. It sounds like I liked that there were things in his game he wanted to grow.
Right.
As far as being a combo guard. I mean, I don't want him to. It's one of those things where I don't want you. You're a great shooter. You're an elite shooter. Don't come and try to be assist man.
I don't want you to trez it up too bad.
Yeah. Like don't come and try to be assist man. Be elite shooter guy. But I do like a guy who is trying to hone his craft. Though. I do like that. So everything he said, man, sounded really good. So.
You kind of dived into basketball, and I didn't want to jump straight into the basketball until I got this extra thing off my chest. So Brian Hall, I don't know if you noticed. I told Steve a little bit about this. I've been having a couple bank issues, right?
Okay. You kind of got into it a little bit, I think, yesterday on the air with the fraud people.
Yeah. Okay.
See the way his bank account's set up.
That they knew that I wasn't spending any money at Best Buy. They're like, Marcus, you don't spend money at Best Buy. Fraud alert.
You don't really spend money.
10 business days before they get you a new card.
Yeah, right.
And then they were going to make you pay $20 to
listen, and so they agreed to send me, the express delivery, right? So since last Thursday, I've been like, okay, my 2 days Saturday, you know what I'm saying? I've been waiting for my card to get here, right? Get home yesterday, no card. About 7:30, 7:40 at night, I get an email. Your card has been, approved. We're now resending your card. Allow 7 to 10 business days. And keep in mind, I've been on strike. I've been on protest mode. I refuse to inconvenience myself to go get temporary cards because I'm like, there's not a bank near my home. So it means that I would have to drive an extremely far distance to go to the bank, my bank, branch, to go get a temporary card, right? So I've refused to go get that temporary card and take care of it. I'm just like, no, I'm going to sit here and wait, and I'm going to be completely inconvenienced because I probably should have left this bank a long time ago from that previous incident we had. But, it just, how I used to say, okay, I'm going to see how frustrated I get to see if I'm going to make it worth it for me to go in there and look them right in the face and say, I've been banking with you for 20 years, and this is the last day that I bank with you. Close it now, right? So, Steve, I gave up.
Fair enough.
Listen, after I got that email last night, I quit. I'm going to go get the temporary card. I'm going to, and once I get everything, decided, I'm going to just get my paperwork. And I say paperwork, I'm going to find out how many automatic withdrawals that I got and how much time is it going to take out of my day to rearrange, my account information and take it elsewhere. And it's just like, I can't take it anymore. But I feel like such a quitter. Because, Steve, sometimes I dig in my heels on some principles, man, that are so unnecessary. It's like, why are you doing this? Like, why won't you get your tires looked at, Marcus? Like, why won't you pump up your tires you pump up your tires once a week instead of just going to get them checked out. But
why won't you just get your window fixed instead of
listening to the whistling when you're driving along? Because it's just principle. It's just principle, Steve.
These are the conversations we have.
Yeah, so this is one principle move that I quit. I lose and I quit, and maybe I'll get better. Maybe this is a ground shedding, a groundbreaking moment where I just start realizing these frivolous fights are not worth it in life. Or maybe I'm just getting old.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. I don't know. I don't think so, man, because I do think that to an extent. Look, I'm learning this with Twitter too. Like, over the last listen, over the last year, like I said, I never was like mute block guy, but it's like then you're just like, yeah, I've got too much going on in my life, man. Look, this is the third, fourth post that when I post something, you just want to argue. So yeah, I'm just gonna mute you. I don't. Like now, some people I block. If I block you,
I missed some action. I missed some action yesterday because listen, people were saying, "Oh, did you see what happened with the Steve post?" And I'm like, "I didn't see anything. Like it was just regular comments." No, you didn't see what dude with the big long funny sentence, and I'm like, no. And I'm like, I'm going back and looking, and I'm like, oh, that means I muted him a long time ago.
Yeah. Now, if I block you, it's because I want you to know.
Right.
Like no, I don't like you. So let's just be clear. But it's like,
what's your percentage mute to block?
Or not that I don't like you. It's that, hey, I feel like you did something that was not cool. Oh, it's way more mute. It's way more mute. Yeah.
So 10 mutes to every one block?
Probably, yeah. Because my mute list is like 250. No, yeah. Look, I thought that was high. And then Mr. Bozich was like, that's it?
Wait a minute, Steve.
What?
You're my guy, and the brand of middays and Marcus Raven and all this stuff is, and the Steve Rummage brand is awesome. Did you just compare your blocking rates to Rick Bozich?
No. Listen, I didn't. He did.
Oh, okay.
I said,
man,
my mute list is like up to 250. I'm like, dude, that's a lot. Because I never muted anybody.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, like in a year, I just muted like 250 people up to like 300. And then Mr. Bozich wrote me and was like, that's all you got?
How many people do you think he's muted?
Oh my God, I can only imagine, man.
He's probably muted more people than he has followers.
well, because the problem with guys like Mr. Bozich, man, is they can't make anybody happy. And I love Rick Bozich and Eric Crawford.
Yeah, because of an opinion. Listen, because of an opinion that he had about something 2 years ago, he gets his stories bombarded.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, like they when you write the pieces that they write, you can't please anybody. So like everybody is upset with you. So like I imagine, and people are very hateful. Like people will say like, yeah, like, like people will say terrible things to you, like on Twitter. It's like
I try to stick to the rule, like if you don't have an avatar, or if you don't have any kind of identifiable picture, or if your name has more than 4 numbers behind it, like
you get blocked. Yeah,
right.
Those you just get blocked. I'm like, yeah, you're
lucky. Like hope that I'm not gonna respond. If you make a slick comment with an account like that and you're not blocked, you consider yourself lucky.
Now let me be honest with you. I usually don't block too much rivalry stuff,
right?
Believe it or not, like because now unless you're just too far. Now if it's like, okay, this is too far, and
man, Steve, actually, let me take a step further. I block more loser Louisville talk than I do rivalry talk.
Yeah, probably. I would probably agree with that myself, because rivalry stuff, I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna say this stuff and then just be like, it's a rivalry, dude. Like, I'm fine with
You're
that.
right.
Like, I'm okay with that. That stuff doesn't bother me. Like, okay, I feel you, whatever. We're back and forth. Because at the end of the day, I do think people are good people for the most part, and like,
Steve Barkley.
Yeah, right. And truthfully, hey, if I saw somebody on the side of the road in the pouring rain that needed help and they had a Kentucky license plate, of course I would drive by. But if they had a Louisville, no, I'm kidding. Like I wouldn't be like, sorry, dude. They figured it out. Like I would help someone. Like, okay, that's fine. I might have a little fun. I might block you from getting off an exit every once in a while.
Right.
But to be fair, that had nothing to that did have something to do with the license plate, but the license plate just
sealed the deal.
sealed the deal of you were trying to skip all the traffic and get. That's a pet peeve of mine. Like no, dude, everybody's been waiting and you're coming right up to the exit and trying to get over. Nah, dude. And then when I saw, look, maybe if you had a big go-karts, I'd have been like, all right, come on in, man.
Look, maybe you were rushing. Maybe you had a bad day.
Yeah, but I was like, no, get on out of here, man. But anyways, yeah, you're right. But back to your whole point, it's just that because I'm like, dude, I got too much going on in my life, man. Like, I ain't going to argue with you. I mean, that's like, I posted something that one time, man, just about my beliefs, you know. And people were jumping, like, there was like Louisville fans. Like, there was like people jumping on me about stuff, and it was like they found something hidden in my DMs. I'm like, yo, I posted that on social media. I don't care that you know.
Right. And it's crazy, Steve. I was riding in, and I was literally riding into work today. You know what word popped in my head on Gene Snyder? The phrase that popped into my head.
I'm listening.
Checks and balances.
Yeah.
Right.
Good one. Yeah.
Checks and balances popped in my head because I'm like, the system is built on checks and balances, but y'all don't care about the balance part. Listen, if I provide balance to to your check, like, why do you get so mad at me for saying, okay, I feel a different way? Don't you think that you need two people feeling a different way to keep this train on the right track? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's what keeps this, local economy ticking with sports, you know. I mean, when you have a Kentucky to a Louisville or a Louisville to a Kentucky, now I'm not comparing the two because, like, I don't think that some people do, and that's called a contrarian. You just are going to go the other way of everybody else. But some people just have alternate opinions, you know, like,
right.
I don't do it that way. You do it that way, but we all love people. All right. I think.
Okay. So what question are you looking forward to asking Pops Alak the most?
Who's he recruiting to come with him? Have you heard anything from Carleek Jones?
What are the expectations? The point totals?
Have you heard who the other assistant is? Were any of these things discussed?
What is the game plan moving? I want details. I want all the answers.
Do we have any new jerseys next year that they may have released to you? Speaking of that, do you remember the other day when I was saying I thought we were in some kind of tournament next year?
Uh-huh.
It was, Brian, did you see that last week? It was like the Empire Classic we're in next year.
I saw something about it. I didn't know what they were talking about, though.
Yeah, it's like us, Gonzaga, Oklahoma State, and Providence or something like that.
Yeah, because I remembered we had something with Gonzaga. That was big.
Yeah, because I knew. I was like, the other day when we were, do you remember having that conversation? And I was like,
I definitely remember it.
I was like, I feel like we're
and we
in
looked
some
forever.
kind
I looked through like tweets and different things, and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, and then just out of nowhere, Gonzaga puts out their out of conference, and it's like, you know, Louisville, Providence, or Oklahoma State. So, and it might not even be a tournament; it might just be a one-game thing. I don't know.
What will the nation be more excited about, the Empire Classic or Iona versus Kentucky in Rupp Arena?
Kind of jealous about that one. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of got jealous when I saw that.
Oh yeah,
because I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're repairing all the relationships are mended.
I know, and that look, I'm going to be very open about this one, and then I'll probably talk like a jilted lover as it gets closer, and I'll probably start getting angry, and I'll say, "Good, y'all can have him. I don't want him." But I know what's going to happen there.
Yes,
he's going to go back. They're going to cheer him just to spite Louisville fans.
Kumbaya.
He's going to get on that post game after Kentucky beats him or he beats them, and he's going to say, you know, I should have never left here in the first place.
Oh, God.
This is the greatest job in the world.
Oh, it's going to be the worst.
And I'm going to be over here with
Kentucky restored my career
on my nipples, starting the car over and over again just to torture myself.
God.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible. So when I saw that, I threw up in my mouth.
Oh, it's going to be the worst, Steve.
Yeah, I was like, oh, come back.
Just play us first.
I know that's what I mean by come back.
Let us cheer for you first.
But I will say, when he does that, I am going to turn into, okay, give me Iona. All right, come on, tournament committee, give them to me. Because now that's going to make me cuddle up closer to Chris Mack. And I'm going to be like, okay, now, I need my big bald beauty to beat your rear end in the tournament. So, come on, give him to me. I want him.
Rolling along middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville.